It's a brand new day, and I'm happy to say Friday is here. We have some rain to talk about, but overall, long range, well, get ready for that heat. Let's talk about it in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. It's Friday, the 18th of July, 2025. As always, want to give you a big old thank you for tuning in this morning. If you haven't already, consider hitting that button to help us get this video out to more fellow Texans who might appreciate the weather information, or at least the fact there's a bald leprechaun talking about the weather here on the magical land of YouTube. Let's just get into it by popping over to the high-res rapid refresh radar. High-res rapid refresh. Yeah, radar. Something about that made sense. What we're expecting today into early Saturday is moisture from a disturbance over Louisiana to filter into parts of southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, the Piney Woods of East Texas and East Texas, bringing the opportunity for scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. Severe thunderstorms in the sense of big hail, tornadoes, damaging winds are not likely. Heavy rain, though, along with plenty of cloud-to-ground lightning, definitely a possibility. We will have to keep an eye out for maybe some 2 to 3 inch rainfall totals in far southeast Texas in the Golden Triangle, with the threat of isolated flash flooding. Otherwise, maybe up to 2 inches of rain in parts of southeast Texas, East Texas, perhaps, if the system doesn't, completely dematerialize, which it might. So the possibility is there, but otherwise you could see this model not as ambitious with overall rain totals heading into today and tonight. So wouldn't that be nice? Something that actually underperforms in the rain department for once this month. Otherwise, we'll have to keep an eye out for isolated to widely scattered thunderstorms across the borderland of far west Texas, the Big Bend, the Trans-Pecos, the Davis-Guadalupe Mountains, and maybe along the Texas-New Mexico state line this afternoon, this evening, and again tomorrow afternoon and evening, with monsoonal moisture. Otherwise, you could see mostly dry across the rest of Texas with some intermittent cloud cover as moisture flows overhead. Here's the wildfire danger outlook from the Texas A&M Forest Service for the next several days. If I had actually correctly updated this one file, which I thought I did, to be fair, so I just mislabeled it. Oh well. We can fix that post-processing. You won't notice a thing. But for the next few days, we are expecting the potential for low to moderate fire danger for the most part, with a wee bit of high Panhandle, West Texas, into the Permian Basin and the Big Bend. Overall, definitely not too bad for late July, minus the fact I'm apparently incapable of making labels, but it is what it is. Tropical weather outlook over the next 7 days: zilch, zero, nada, quiet in the Gulf, Caribbean, and Atlantic. Enjoy it while it lasts, because I'm sure at some point we'll be talking about tropical mischief. Not today, though. Here is the longer range outlook in terms of the upper air pattern at 500 millibars from the European weather model. This is a look at geopotential heights, which is just an easier way to see kind of where we have that dip in the jet stream, along with, in the summer months especially, that upper level heat dome or high pressure ridge aloft. You can see that jet stream dipping down across the west coast of the United States over the next few days, while that ridge, those higher heights aloft, build in across the central, southern, southeastern United States, kind of pushing that jet stream back north. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a fairly typical summertime pattern and is going to be an indication of increasing heat for us here in the state of Texas going into next week, with generally rain chances not remaining super duper high. But notice we kind of get a little weakness there in the northwestern Gulf as we head into the latter part of next week. That may open up the opportunity for a little moisture to move in, and we'll have to keep an eye out for maybe some uptick in precipitation chances in parts of southeast Texas going into late next week. We'll show you that here in the Long Range American Weather Model, the Global Forecast System. Again, as you can see, Scattered afternoon and evening thunderstorms will be the name of the game heading into next week across parts of the Panhandle, West Texas, the Permian Basin, the Big Bend, the Borderland, into the Davis Guadalupe Mountains and the Trans-Pecos. Some of the rain out there could be a little heavier at times, but otherwise you can see the rest of Texas definitely looking much less active, far more dry, and with that, we can expect an uptick in temperatures. Yes, you better get ready for those triple digits, I'm afraid. Heading into Thursday and Friday of next week, you could see with that little weakness aloft in the upper level ridge or high pressure, this model specifically tries to start bringing in a little moisture from the Gulf. No, that's not a tropical mischief system. It's just a little upper level wave that tries to sneak in with some rain chances. We'll see. We're talking about something 6 to 7 days out, so plenty will change, and it will, but still gives us something to talk about, right? Temperatures over the next several days. Today, we're looking at highs mostly in the 90s across Texas. A couple of 80s, the Golden Triangle, southeast Texas, out into the hill country, plus the higher terrain of the Guadalupe Davis Mountains. On Saturday, triple digits return northwest Texas into Texoma. South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, out into parts of the Trans-Pecos. It's hot. Heading into Sunday, they expand into the Panhandle, West Texas. More triple digits galore, and guess what? That trend's going to continue into next week with temperatures continuing to climb. We're going to start seeing far more triple digits across the state, with at least heat index values also likely well up into the triple digits. So even though some of y'all here may be in the 90s, heat index values, especially across East Texas where we have the highest humidity, will be well above 100 degrees during the daytime hours. And again, relatively seasonal to a little above average temperatures heading into both the day and nighttime hours next week. Long range from the Climate Prediction Center. As you can see, guess what? We are looking at above average temperatures continuing across a good chunk of the United States next week. A little cooler perhaps West Coast, but well, guess what? It's summer. What do you expect? Precipitation outlook-wise, you can see they have adjusted this a little bit to add a little bit of precipitation hope to parts of the Gulf Coast, with the potential for a little weakness in that high pressure as it tends to shift a little north, or tries to at least. Otherwise, here in Texas, it's going to be drier. So, I mean, it's summer. What do you expect? But I can tell you what to expect, since, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Friday, which means it's time to give a shout out to our Spinny Doomers here on the Texas Weather Center. Want to give Candy P, Christina West, Deanna, Donald Yellett, J.A., Jennifer, Texas girl up north in Wyoming, who's also one of our amazing moderators, Jeremiah Wisdom, Justin S., Love, Live, Laugh, Manda Cakes, Mandy Kim, Mike Rich, Nancy Rosenberg, Knight Davis, North Texas Weather, Paranoid Pocho, r/Tornado Chats, who is also one of our moderators, by the way, Rascals ZX2, Ryan Tucker, S00 Patique, Samantha D, Sarah Schmidt, Tanya McGee, and Wendy Hall. Thanks, y'all, for being Spinny Doomers here on the Texas Weather Center, and thank you to everyone who is a subscriber and a member here at the Texas Weather Center as well. We definitely appreciate it. We appreciate your support, and you know what? I am happy to say, hopefully, the weather will be far less active heading over the next week across the state compared to what it has been for the first half of the month. We'll be back on Monday following the typical schedule here without super duper active weather this weekend. We actually get to take a little breather. So we'll be back on Monday with your next edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. As always, if something mysteriously arises, we'll be back this weekend with further updates. And of course, we'll be active on the magical land of social media, the Texas Storm Chasers weather blog, where you can always get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, and the Texas Storm Chasers website. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have an amazing Friday. Have an amazing weekend. And God bless.